deal in the SEC case against Ripple just put off. This video is about a brand new filing that just came in the Ripple SEC case. This filing has a lot of people freaked out about X because they don't know if this case is finally over or if there was just another delay. I want to talk about that file in this video because I think a lot of people are getting it wrong. I'd also like to talk about a very interesting meeting between the Federal Reserve and Ripple. Also, at the end of the video, I'll answer one of the most popular questions I get, which is, what comes first? XRP, utility, or price appreciation? Your help is very much appreciated as always. Thanks a lot. Thank you to everyone who liked the movies and signed up for the channel. These two easy things help me a lot. Plus, if you're going somewhere to buy XRP, make sure you check out my list of best streams at the end of this video. Okay, I'll just get right to it. I hope you guys enjoy what I have to say. To start this video, I'd like to talk about something that has a lot of people really excited. A brand new statement in the Ripple SEC case. A lot of people saw this and thought, oh, the settlement was just late. What's going on here? What's going on here? I thought we were already set. Why do you still have to file things? What's the holdup? Let's look at the filing piece by piece to see what it is. That's right. Ripple and the SEC just got permission to wait for another 60 days. The very next document they had in the SEC's appeal in the Ripple case. This means that Ripple and the SEC are still arguing their case in the Second Circuit. They are both going to wait 60 days before filing their next paper. A lot of people are now seeing this and saying the appeal is still going on. What? I thought everything was over with this. Why are they putting things off? Guys, these filings are being put off because both sides have already agreed that filing these papers is pointless since they have already reached a deal. There has been no vote yet by the SEC on that deal. The SEC and Ripple agreed that they would not waste anyone's time filing these documents, even though the case is still going on. We will decide whether to accept this deal in a few weeks. The due date should be pushed back. This case will never be filed, the settlement will never be accepted, and the case will never be brought to a close again. Basically, there's no reason to be worried about this. It's actually a very good sign. There is still no point in going forward with this appeal, as shown by the fact that both sides are still determined to settle it. And the SEC negotiations have already sent waves through the background, which is still a good sign. I saw a lot of people looking at this news crazy and asking, what's the holdup? Are they putting off the settlement? This is exactly what we want to see. In a way, this shows that the deal is still in place. Both sides agree that the case can't go any further at this point, and that filing any documents would be a waste of time because the case is about to end anyway. I just wanted to start the video by breaking that down because a lot of people were confused by those filings, and I wanted to make sure everyone knew there was nothing to worry about. A lot of people want the case to be over already, and I know I keep saying this, but it is over. The only thing left is the vote, which will happen soon. Right now, I know enough people close to Paul Atkins and at the SEC to say that this case is over. It doesn't help to worry too much about when the vote will actually happen. It's over now. There is no way that anything else could happen. Don't worry, we're good to go with this case. There is no way out at all. I think the only thing left that's interesting is how Ripple pays the fine, right? Will XRP be used to pay? What's going to happen with that XRP? What kind of money are they going to pay? That's the only thing left that's interesting. It's closed off for everything else. So keep that in mind. I also wouldn't think too much about what might happen or wait to move forward. After the vote, it will be over. After that, I'd like to talk about Ripple and the Federal Reserve, since many of you heard that in the beginning when I said there was a meeting. In fact, it was funny that we had a Ripple board member meet Jerome Powell not long ago. Now, I find it really interesting that Ripple keeps talking with people like Jerome Powell from the Federal Reserve. I mean, this is something that no other cryptocurrency company is doing, and Ripple is always the one getting these talks. When Ripple and the Federal Reserve talk about Bitcoin again, it's very interesting to see. It's been going on since 2013. Their first meeting with the Federal Reserve was in 2013, and they've been going to talks with the Federal Reserve ever since. Members of the Federal Reserve have been talking about Ripple, and Ripple has been talking about the Federal Reserve. It's always been about Ripple and the Federal Reserve at these big economic events. Before, a lot of people said that Ripple would take the place of the Federal Reserve. I strongly disagree with that because Ripple will not take the place of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve only does one thing, and that's to print money. It does not make sense for Ripple to take over the Federal Reserve's job and print money in the same way. I think that Ripple will likely provide technology to the Federal Reserve. That sounds a lot more interesting to me than Ripple taking over the Federal Reserve. As I always say, Ripple is not a government body like the Federal Reserve. Ripple isn't a money app either. They're not just taking funds over text message, they're giving settlement. They are putting in place facilities. That system can also be used by groups such as the Federal Reserve. But I want to show you this clip because it's very interesting. You will see that the Federal Reserve is very optimistic about cryptocurrencies. Pay attention to this. Now I'll talk about something that has more to do with how technology is changing and new tools, forks of money. What do you think the chances are of them getting better rules, and what risks might that pose for the system? There was a wave of failures and scams, and stories like that were in the news for a few years. I believe what you see now is also during that time we were working with Congress to try to get a framework, a set of laws for safe coins, which would have been a good place to begin. We failed at what we did. I believe that things are shifting and that area is becoming more popular. So Congress is once again looking at a framework, a set of laws for stablecoins. Both the Senate and the House are looking at this. If you know what's in it, that might be a good idea. We need that. Now there isn't one. And stablecoins are a type of digital product that could actually appeal to a lot of people. They should have standard customer protections and be clear. That's what the House and Senate are working on. That's a good thing. Then I also believe that some of the rules and guidelines we put in place for banks were written by bank inspectors who were even more conservative than we were. I think that will be eased up a bit there. I think we'll try to do it in a way that keeps things safe and sound and also encourages and allows the right kind of innovation, but that does it in a way that once more doesn't put customers at risk in ways they don't understand or make banks less safe. That's pretty cool, right? Now that cryptocurrency is becoming more popular, the Federal Reserve is talking publicly about new ideas, and he's talking to a board member of Ripple at the same time. Ripple has been meeting with the Federal Reserve since 2013. I don't always know what else some people need to see when I just sit back. The financial system needs a major overhaul, and the lines we are currently using to move money are severely out of date and need to be replaced. This has never been more clear. At the moment, cryptocurrency technology is the only one that even comes close to being able to do this. Besides that, all of these big banks work with Ripple. Ripple is working with the Federal Reserve in this case. When it comes to CBDCs, Ripple works with almost 26 countries. The path that this industry is taking could not be more clear. And most of the time, it makes people ask one last question. When is price growth going to happen? Is it going to happen when these cryptocurrencies are used for something useful and that usefulness drives numbers on the network? If so, the price of the token will go up because you need more liquidity.